You know, you think of the things that Grandma, and I thought of standing here at this moment talking to all of you, but the reality is she would love to have been here and talk to each one of you for hours. I traveled around, or I still travel around, and I would call Grandma, and that for several years, up till this, in the past few months. I would talk to her on the phone, she would talk, and we just talked about anything and everything. And it was just so much fun to talk to her. But the things she would always say are things like, be smart. And I always heard that growing up, after 5 million times. Maybe that's the reason she kept telling me. But the things you think of is how fast she walked. And how many times she would ask you while you're sitting at the dinner table, do you have enough biscuits? Do you have enough this? Do you have some more?
Yeah.
And she tried to put stuff on your plate, and you're like, oh, John.
No, Grandma, we're done.
And you think of those different things every day in a pound cake. How many times have I watched my grandma make pound cake? And how many times she's talked about each of you and how much she loved each of you. And it's not just all of you. I mean, each of you. She really loved. And so I just wanted to say thank you. And I hate she's not here, but I'm sure she's here in all of your thoughts and prayers.
Talking about Kevin's pound cake, he loved to watch her mixer go when he was little. So when she'd get ready to mix a pound cake, she'd call Kevin. And sometimes he'd stand in a chair, and I think one time he sat on the counter and watched that mixer go round and round while she made it.
I still would now if she was naked.
It doesn't take much to amuse him.
Maybe he's just making sure they get the first piece.
And that's one of those stories. I always tried to convince her to take it. You know how the top gets all crusty on top of a pound cake? I always loved that the best.
He wanted a bigger pan, more
I
crust.
wanted to take a 9 by 11 pan and pour the pound cake in there. That was about like Grandma wearing jeans.
Anybody else?
I'd like to say something. I was fortunate enough to know Grandma for 17 years. We were married almost 16 years. 35. I don't know. So I didn't know Grandma earlier on, but the thing that struck me that will stick with me about her was just her spirit and her feistiness and her good humor. And two stories that I want to share. And some of you have heard me tell this before, but when her eyesight got bad, she kept trying to cook. And she knew that Steve loved lemon pie. That was her favorite thing. So she told me one day, I'm so sorry, honey, I don't have a lemon pie for Steve, because I'd saved the lemon in the refrigerator, and I was going to make a pie. And I took it out, and I rolled it, and that lemon was so hard, and I couldn't get it soft. And honey, don't you know? And she starts laughing, that lemon was a turnip. And she could laugh at herself, and she was alive. She did that. And then there was another time, Steve was always really good about seeing when she needed things and just quietly taking care of them. And some of the lights from her walkway to Thelma's house had burned out. So he went to the store to Lowe's and he got her a new set. And she comes in that evening with her cane and there were some new things, some lumps on the step, and I didn't know what they were, so I whacked them with my stick.